Hello, we have today a very important guest. We have Pushpita Gupta. She was rather a Bangladeshi national. Now she is a British national, and she is a British leader in her own right. And she is the Labour Party leader, and she's a Hindu also. So that makes her all the more interesting in today's day and age when the minorities are being attacked, particularly in Bangladesh. Ma'am, welcome to CNN News 18. And my straight up question will be do you consider Muhammad Yunus regime as a constitutional regime or a government?
Thank you, Jan. Before I introduce myself, just a little bit correction there. I'm not a Labour Party leader, and I'm not representing a Labour Party. I'm representing, of course, Bangladeshi Hindus, and I'm still a Bangladeshi citizen. I'm a British citizen as well as Bangladeshi citizen because British and Bangladesh, they both acknowledge dual nationalities, and I'm a very proud Bangladeshi Hindu. Of course, the Yunus regime, they are not a legal. They're not government. This is not a government because government is a procedure. How did they join? And this is a institution, or it's just like they grab the country with the mob justice or with some Jamaat Islami and Hizbut Tahrir. These are extreme viewers, extreme believers of Islam, and they just created a group of people, and they wanted to make Bangladesh a new Pakistan. So this is their identity at the moment. So today,
But there has been a there has been a there has been murmurs that the Bangladesh constitution doesn't allow the very term of interim government. Is it true?
it is true. There is no such word interim government in constitution in Bangladesh. But then I point out they don't call them Bengali. They don't even call themselves Bengali. They don't even acknowledge the father of the nation and the Bangabandhu, the founder of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So you can imagine they don't even acknowledge the country Bangladesh itself. They don't even acknowledge the country. If you cannot acknowledge the founder of the country, if you do not respect the constitution of the country, if you do not respect the Bangladesh national anthem, so nothing left. And you probably heard today, we were expecting the Chinmay Krishna Prabhu's release from the court. You probably heard that, and they denied that as well. And the court was full of just Jamatis and Hizbut Tahrir's people, and they were creating lots of what is called slogans against Bangladeshis, against Hindus, against secularism, and that actually happened inside the court, not outside. So this is purely they saying
Right.
this is not Bangladesh. They just want to create a new Pakistan.
But if I may just rewind the whole thing, it hasn't been. I mean, of course, things have changed drastically since Yunus government has taken over. I mean, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That things weren't very rosy for the minorities overall, and particularly for the Hindus in Bangladesh, ever in Bangladesh. Am I right or wrong?
No, yeah, you were right. That happened. How minorities are going through and what they're going through at the moment. It happened during 1971. During 1971, there was a war between East Pakistan and West Pakistan, and the same, and how they were targeting that moment. They were targeting women. They were targeting Hindus, and then lots of, and then that was India's help. With India's help, and India intervened. We got the independence, but also India acknowledged and given those refugees to come to this country and live peacefully in India during the Liberation War 1971. But the 2024, these things are happening, but India's borders are closed. So they cannot even come to the country. So can you imagine? They are in a situation, they were much worse situation than 1971 because they don't have anybody to protect them or support them.
You have a personal anecdote, if I'm not wrong, that if even your mother witnessed similar
Yeah, of
harassments,
course.
I think your temple.
My mom's temple where her windows were broken, and one morning, and they spreaded some beef in her temple. So religiously, we uh, do not eat beef, as well as cow. We worship cow because and they put cow beef in my mom's temple, and from that point, my mom had stroke because she was a pure believer, and then she was a pure devotee of Jagadbandhu Sundar, and then she was just a religious woman, young religious woman. That's all, and she was always out and about to help others, and and then that happened to her. She had a stroke. She recovered from stroke, but mentally she never recovered. Although she died in cancer later on, but for me, they actually killed her on that day because her belief was that was a punishment from God, because she could not believe that
And
her neighbors could do something like that. And on that note, I also add, they also grabbed my home, village home. The everybody in Bangladesh, Hindus have their own land. We have a big land. We have a big home because we were used to live in that city because my father was working in the tea garden, and then my father passed away young age, and then we were living with my uh, aunties in the city. So we used to get like rice and the lentils and oil and
right,
all sorts of stuff from
right.
village, and this is how we were our living. This is our only earnings from that moment. But one morning we heard that been grabbed by the neighbor, and we couldn't do anything about
The
it.
very
It's just
neighbor you lived all your lives with,
sorry, say again, please.
the very neighbors you lived all your lives
No, no, yeah,
along with.
no, no. I actually spent my life in the tea garden, my childhood, and where the temple thing happened in the tea garden. My upbringing is in Sylhet, but the village was in another district. It's called Mulabi Bazar.
Oh,
But this village, the home was looked after by some other people who were doing this cultivations, and then
understandably, you are upset. Understandably,
farmers
you're
and
upset,
stuff
and
like that.
anybody
Yeah,
would be. Anybody would be, and totally, it's totally fair to be upset. But just fast forward to today's situation, ma'am. And if I
yeah,
may ask you a few questions about today's situation, you say it's an illegitimate government. You say it's an unconstitutional government. But what
yeah,
what should the government, the world government do? You are part of a global coalition, as you call it. You have made five
yeah,
point agendas, as you say, that said UN's intervention. You call for autonomous regions and stuff like that. But
yeah.
what beyond that? Shouldn't the uh, high and the mighty intervene? I mean, if UK,
Absolutely,
US,
absolutely. The whole world should. What actually happening with Hindus in Bangladesh? And then Chinmoy Krishna Prabhu was our spokesperson. Court, and you cannot do things in a court. You need to respect the court. But if you see the footage of the
yeah,
court, this morning, it was just like a shouting, screaming, slogan, and all sorts of mob justice happening within, in front of the judge in the court. So this is already far too late, but world must wake up now, and then this is this is way too late. If you heard the last
what,
night, while America was celebrating 31st night, 15 of them were killed by a jihadis. This
right,
is exactly, and I saw in Delhi, when I was in Delhi, there was a protest going on. against this 31st night by some of the minorities in Delhi. And this is actually, they are implementing this kind of, they protesting, they're killing people, America and other countries, but Bangladesh, they already implemented. So people are not allowed to celebrate any sorts of celebration. Is a celebration. 31st night, whole world celebrate.
You're saying this 31st, the last 31st that we have just passed, 31st December 2024, there was a celebration in Bangladesh,
No,
Dhaka.
no, no. There were no celebration. There was no celebration for even Bangladesh National Day is called 16 December Vijay Dibosh. There was no celebration in Bangladesh.
And why is it so?
Because they don't believe in that. Because they don't believe in
You're saying
Bangladesh
you're
constitution.
saying that it's a taking a radical turn.
It is very, they have been trying, to create a, this radicalized society. They have been trying to do that. If you can remember, there are some what is called advisors in the cabinet. They used to call themselves Chhatra League. They used to call them Awami League activists. But then they come out from
Right.
it. They came out from it and they said we were not actually Chhatra League, we were not Awami League, but we were representing Jamaat Islami or Hizbut Tahriris. So they're coming out of their shells now. So their agendas, nobody could understand. If the
And
world
Hizbut Tahrir
doesn't
is a
understand,
terrorist organization, if I'm not wrong.
those terrorists were in jail. Soon Dr. Yunus came to power, or he grabbed the power. He released all these terrorists from the jail. So this is very concerning. This is very, they are open, they are walking openly. It's kind of like a rapist. The killers, there are many killers in the society. There are many rapists in the society in Bangladesh. They're walking on the street openly. They're walking openly on the street.
I met you recently in Delhi, and we talked over various issues. You used a term, very interesting term. You said that there should be, if Bangladesh government can't protect the lives of Hindus, can't protect the dignity of Hindus, then there should be a separate land for Hindus. You
This
espouse
is,
for a
yeah.
separate land
Yeah,
for Hindus.
absolutely. If you speak to any minorities, like they are not an activist, they're just being Hindu. If you ask them, what do you want? The first thing they would say, I want to live peacefully. If you offer them money, they will not get, they will not accept the money from you. You will not find a beggar in Bangladesh on the street. There is no beggars in Bangladesh because they don't do that. All they want to live peacefully. Now they're saying we cannot live peacefully with them. They have been asking for leave us alone. We want to live peacefully in our own country. This is the country born in
How do you think that
secularism.
happened? Are you asking for an independent land for
This is
Hindus?
what this is what I'm coming from. These people, this is not what I want. This is what we talk to the people who are living in Bangladesh. They say they cannot live with majorities anymore. They had enough. So they are asking us, can we be separated from them? So this is the discussion between the countries. This is the discussion between whole world should come forward and find a solution how these Hindus should live in Bangladesh, because it cannot be, you just cannot destroy and cannot just killing people or cannot just grab the whole country, name of jihad, name of extremism. You cannot do that. So if these innocent Hindus need to live in this country, they need to be separated. This is their demand, because they had enough of these atrocities. They don't have anywhere. They say, okay, just if we lots of Hindus living in Chittagong, leave Chittagong alone. We will maintain Chittagong. They want to be part of Bangladesh, but all they want to give us a division somewhere where we Hindus just live peacefully. Nobody can intervene. Nobody, administration should be Hindus. Everything should be Hindus. They're not
Okay,
asking.
you're
So
talking about autonomy.
again, sorry.
You're talking about autonomy.
Yeah, that's it. There's a this is because they had enough. This is look what has happened this morning even in Bangladesh. they lost the hope. They lost, they're thinking, that their life has ended. They cannot go anywhere. Even if you go to rural side of Bangladesh, you see there are some women and elderly people still trying to leave the country and come to India.
What
Because
should India do, ma'am? Right now, what should India do?
India must intervene, must start that discussion. This is the country politics, the country policies. They must have some. I'm not a politician. I'm an activist. I'm a Labour Party activist. So, but Indian government, Bangladesh, whoever is in grabbing the land, or Bangladesh, India should talk to other countries like America, Britain, and they come to a conclusion how these Hindus can live peacefully. And Bangladesh can be a Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a secular country, but just 10%, I would say maximum 10% of jihadis just grab the power, and they are doing the mob justice, and they're trying to make it a new Pakistan. But I can assure you, there are majority of Muslims in Bangladesh still believe in secularism and still believe they want to live with Hindus in Bangladesh. But they cannot say anything
Do
because they
you,
are in fear. They are very scared. If they talk something, they put case against them. They will be in jail.
I have a final question before I let you go. I know you have other works to do. You have a whole lot of engagements today. You're meeting the leader of opposition, I believe, of Bengal. Before I let you go, I have one question, which is very crucial, and everybody wants to know that you're part of the global coalition. The many people from leaders from US, leaders from Canada, you are part of the as representing UK. They're all are there. What are your expectations from Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Because there are growing expectations from Narendra Modi, even during the Ukraine war. People expected that and even to the extent that President Putin said that if anybody can intervene and stall the war, it's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It's on record. So, do you expect that he can play a role in
Absolutely.
undoing the whole situation?
Absolutely, absolutely. And Modi, we Hindus, one thing we Hindus live in peace. We don't do things or destroy things. We create things. We believe in meditation. We believe in yogas. We go to temple to pray, and majority of us, even if you see Modi's, during election he's going to pray in the Ganga rivers, and he's meditating because Modi he is in a position, and he has a voice who he can raise for Bangladeshi Hindus. Because Bangladeshi Hindus, most of the countries, the Bangladeshi Hindus are not even exist. They don't even know the Bangladeshi Hindus exist in Bangladesh. We are 8%. And Modi government should, and Modi especially, please speak up. This 8% Hindu lives matters. Treat them as your families. They are Hindus. Yeah, they might be living in Bangladesh, but that's not their fault. This is again this is 1940, created 1947. Whoever that was India's fault or Britain's fault that Hindus still living in 8% still living in Bangladesh and suffering every single day. So Modi must come forward. He got influence. His voices get heard, and he can do something. I don't know what it is, but then what must should come forward. Modi should take initiative for not only Hindus to save the country, Bangladesh.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking
Thank
to
you.
CNN News 18, and really appreciate of you joining us.
Thank you.